Hi, this is Kevin Deal from Upscale Audio, and today we're going to talk about the Balanced Audio Technology VK-80i. Yeah, I am so excited. Look, you know I usually have things flipped upside down and I take the bottom off because I get very excited about looking at the insides, and there are certainly things to talk about inside this box, but I have to look at the way that this thing sits on a shelf. I think that this is the prettiest integrated amp I've ever seen, or at least one of them. I mean, it is just so stunning for me to look at. This is the new Balanced Audio Technology and Industrial Design. I've wanted them to take this tube, the 6C33 triode, and put it into there and integrate it for the longest time, and they just wouldn't do it and wouldn't do it, wouldn't do it. And now that they've done it, they are firing on all cylinders. This thing is badass. It is all triode. Right? So you've got 6H8Cs, which is a 6SN7, and 6C33s running in push-pull triode. People talk about triode all the time. Triode this, triode that, blah, 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 blah. If you get a single-ended triode amp, those can be fun, but they can be a one-trick pony because the output impedance of a 300B amp can be very, very high. And so the sound of the amplifier is going to change depending on the impedance curve of the speakers that you hook up. So, you know, people don't talk about that stuff. They don't talk about usability that much. This amplifier is not going to have that problem because it's got a lower output impedance. And I'm telling you, the proof is in the pudding. I have this hooked up to a pair of Focal Soper 1s, which is a little bookshelf speaker, and that impedance curve absolutely dips down a little bit, and it was rocking my world. Now, I was trying to figure out just how the hell they got all this done, right? And so I'm listening to it in the sound room. Kat was coming in. The other employees were all coming in listening to it. I go, what the hell did they do with the volume control? You know, I've taken apart the BAT Rex preamp and the VK-53SE, and I always talk about how they do the potentiometers. There's plenty of preamps out there that are $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 that use cheap-ass chips as an attenuator. And I don't care for it. Now, you can do a chip as a volume control successfully. There are companies that do it. There are ways to do it. But sometimes they're going to have just a little bit of an electronic sheen. Just a little bit, and I can pick it out. So I'm like, oh my God, how are they doing this? So I called up. I ran out of the sound room, but we were still demoing. I called up the factory. I talked to Victor Kamenko. Victor is the designer, and he's very, very dry. Hello, Kevin. I go, hey, Victor. I go, what's the deal with the volume control on this thing? I go, it sounds amazing. I go, is it the same thing as like a 53SE or a Rex preamp? He goes, no, it's not the same. And my heart sank. I go, okay, I'll call back later. So I run out of there. And then today, I go, I don't get it, man. How does this thing sound so good? So I called him back, and I talked to Steve Bednarski, and I go, well, you couldn't use the laddered resistor volume control, huh? He goes, no, it's got it. I go, well, Victor told me it's different. He goes, well, it is different because the 33SE, the Rex preamp, they will allow you to change volume in 1/2 dB steps. This one does it in 1 dB steps. I go, oh my God. Hey man, I'm going to take that. Look, a laddered resistor network, a lot of people are not going to do it because it takes too many parts, it's too complex, and in the case of Balanced Audio Technology, you're going to have a left circuit and a left and a right channel, right? It takes more parts and labor, but it's the gold standard, and it is the way to do it, and they did it in this amplifier. Oh my God. Now, if you turn it upside down, this is what you're going to see. Right here in the center, there's a big toroidal power transformer. And I love that. Toroids are the way to go, and I'll tell you why. Because they don't radiate any EMI out of the core of the donut, right? They're very, very quiet. But people don't like to use them because it takes more material to wind them. They're not as efficient, and they are not as easy to make. They just cost a lot more money. I have always applauded BAT because every product that I think they've ever made has used toroids. So good for these guys, right? The output transformers are also toroids, and they are potted. That's what these are here. This is where the rubber meets the road, and this is why the bass response on this is so badass. So these output transformers are potted. The reason they are potted is to protect the part and also to reduce the effects of microphony. So they're in a resin inside of these cans. Now, I was talking about the sound of this, and how it gets the golden glow of a 300B amplifier. And I was curious what was going on with that. And I ended up talking to Lenny, and Lenny straightened out. He goes, yeah, man, they're using the Mundorfs. I go, you're kidding. Hell yeah. So they're using Mundorf silver gold oil capacitors in critical positions, and that is how they're getting this magic in the mid-range that I love so much. It's a fully balanced design. This is not fake balance. This is not bullshit balance. It is a truly balanced design. So you have an XLR in and then 3 sets of RCA in. And so if you have a balanced DAC, and if you're looking for a one-box solution that's going to take advantage of that, get yourself a bitchin' music streamer or a bitchin' DAC, plug it in there, and you are done. Because you're not going to have to mess with it or fuss with it. Balanced Audio Technology years ago invented a very, very slick, very, very nice, properly operating auto bias circuit that works. And not just that, it has its own built-in protection that does not have fuses. So this is a tube amplifier that you can take home, plug it in, push the power button, and never worry about a damn thing, right? You'll never have to worry about anything, period. The tubes automatically bias. If something goes bad, if a tube goes bad, then the amplifier is just going to go into protection, and that's all there is to it. On the back of the amplifier, you're going to see some speaker taps. You have a 4 to 6 ohm tap and an 8 ohm tap. Don't even pay attention to that. I don't care what speakers you have. Speakers are not 8 ohm speakers. Speakers are not 4 ohm speakers. Impedance curves are dynamic on all speakers, right? And you never want to assume anything. When you buy a tube amp, whether it's this one or another amplifier, when you get it home, listen very carefully on the 8 ohm tap, listen very carefully on the 4 ohm tap, and use the one that sounds best, because this is how you marry your speakers to the amplifier. Oh my God, look at this thing. The metalwork, and this truly is an American product. You know, sometimes products are made overseas and they are better off for it. But Balanced Audio products have always been well made, and they've always been made in the United States. There are people that talk about their products being handmade, and I know who the players are in this business, and it is complete bullshit, because they are kits of just metalwork from China and PCBs from China, and they got one guy who takes and screws PCBs in a transformer into the box and calls it made in the United States. I know for a fact that all of this metalwork and all of the PCBs, it is made in the United States. It is assembled in the United States. It is a true, true quality product. I love this amp. It is so, so bitchin'. Of course, it comes in black, not just the silver, but for me, I mean, I swear to God, I love this thing so much, I just want to marry it. Don't tell my wife, Miss Laura. So look, oh, and it's 55 watts per channel. What does that mean? It's going to drive just about anything. I mean, if you have a big, gigantic room, and you're the former lead guitar player from Guns N' Roses and you want to make your ears bleed, maybe this is not enough power for you. But I have to say, for 90% of the customers that we have that walk into my store, this is going to be all they need. So push-pull, triode, low output impedance, real power, real bandwidth, and easy to live with, and looks bitchin'. Go to our website. If you buy it from us and you don't love it, you can send it back, or we'll refund every penny of your money, and thank you for buying it in the first place. My salespeople are not on commission. The only thing that we do judge them on is if they get too many returns. And I'll tell you why. If I have an employee here that has too many refunds and exchanges, it tells me one thing. They are not asking you the right questions to make you happy. You know, I hope that they're asking you questions about how you really use your stuff and what you bought before and why you weren't happy with it, so we can get you something that you're happy with this time. I hope that they are listening to you, because it's super, super important. So go to our website, call up my great sales staff at Upscale Audio. I want to treat your system like it's ours. Thanks.